Today is January 25th, 2024, and I am back in my temporary darkroom I've set up in our utility room. I've been flipping through pages of 35 millimeter film shots I've taken over the last few years, and kind of randomly selecting a few that I think would work well with the experiment I've been working on today. I need to confess that the last video I shared had a tractor in there, and I'm really pleased with how that picture or photograph turned out. But I need to confess that it took me 12 tries to get the proper exposure rate. So I wanted to come up with another system for me, and I've been inspired by a couple of YouTube videos I've seen on the internet. And I came up with my own system that I'm trying today. So this large rectangle represents a sheet of photographic paper. And I'm working with 5x7. It's not a really big deal, specifically when it was given to me, several hundred sheets. So here, if I gave the sheet using a zero contrast filter, gave the whole sheet a 2-second exposure, then if I protected that 2 seconds, another 2 seconds, another 2 seconds, and then shifted to 4 seconds, and 4 seconds again, gradually my exposures are building up. Then moving vertically across this, I did a similar thing using a number 5 contrast filter. So here I did 2 seconds all the way across. Here I'm doing 2 seconds. 2 seconds plus 2 seconds is 4 seconds. On up to 6, 8, 12, 18. So here we have one stop, jump from 4 to 8. 8 to 16 is another stop, and then half stops in between. And gradually the exposures build up coming across that sheet. So what it looks like when that is developed is kind of a grid work. Now you can see that that's blurry. The photographic paper moved as I was exposing it, but it allowed me to pick out the highlights and the shadows that I felt worked well. And I wrote these down that 10 seconds magenta or number 5, 6 seconds yellow or 0. And I just jumped right into that, and there's the image. And that's just two shots, I guess. Now, unfortunately, I didn't continue with this photo because you can't see it in the video. That guy, the rump, is in focus. The face is out of focus. So I decided to move on to another photo. And this is Mike Hodgson. This is back in 2016. Again, I did another grid, and I selected the contrast exposures that I liked. And over here, I decided 6 seconds with the 0 and 6 seconds with the magenta or number 5. And I came up with this photo. And I wanted to darken it a little bit. So I switched up to 10 seconds on the magenta and 8 seconds on the yellow or 0. And that's what came up. Now, it's a little bit too dark, and I can tweak that pretty close now. But there were some defects in there, some spots in there. And I'm not ready to get into spotting. So here's the most recent one I did. This is Southwest Harbor Days, or Pink Flamingo Days, or whatever it's called, back in 2016. And again, the paper moved while I was doing an exposure. But I did 14 seconds with the magenta or number 5 and 14 seconds with the yellow. And I came up with this photograph. Again, jumping off of that right into this. And what I didn't like about this is there's so much specular highlights from the sun hitting the aluminum foil. Let me zoom in there. And up in here too. And, I just kind of made a guess. I said, you know what? I bet you if I did 28 seconds with a number 3 filter, I'd get a decent photograph. And there it is. So I don't know if I'll continue on with this. This is kind of the fun of photography, of just trying different things. A little bit easier if you're working on the computer than physically making it all happen. But yeah, I'm kind of pleased with that. It's worked out well. So again, I'm experimenting with this thing, exposure index. I don't know what you would call it, that I came up with today. All right, I got to get back to work.